what's up everybody out there in Learning Land? Tyler from 10thumbspro.com. This time we're going from scale to solo, but we're going to be breaking down how you improvise, how you create melody on the fly, and how you use these tips with resolution to make some really cool solos up right on the spot. Tabs by becoming a Patreon, links in the notes. In the description you'll see my email if you want some one-on-one lessons. And let's do it. Grab the ukulele brain attention span and let me teach you how to improvise. Follow me on it.
Improvisation. How do you teach improv? If I say, okay, we're going to improvise and you play this lick, then we're not improvising, you're just playing the lick that I played. So I thought about this one long and hard, and I think I came up with a way to teach you how to improvise, or at least how to get started. So let's take a look at what we're going to be using. We are playing today with a backing track that goes G, E minor, C, and D. And if you listen to the bass in the backing track, I'm actually pretty proud of it. I think it's one of my better bass lines. My bass skills are slowly growing. Do, do, do. Very classic progression. Oh, where can my baby be? Lord took her away from me. Right? So we're going to be using the G major / E minor pentatonic for improvisation, shapes 2, 5, and 1 primarily. Okay, so let's look at the shapes we're going to be using then. Primarily, or these would be the shapes that I encourage you to use when improvising in the key of A minor primarily. You can use other ones, but these are the three I primarily use. The first one is 2-4, 2-4, 3-5, 2-5. Major root here, minor root here. An easy way to find shape 4 is with this E minor shape or this major chord shape. So if I play this G major, you'll see 2, 3, 2. All of these notes are in there. 2, 4, 3, 5, 2, 5. Same thing with this E minor, right? This note's in here. 5, 2, 3, or 5, 3, 4, 2. So you can use those to help you find shape 4. Shape 5 goes 4, 7, 4, 7, 3, 5, 3, 5. If you bar the 7th fret completely, this is an E minor 7. This helps you find both shape 5 and shape 1, with shape 5 being 4, 7, 4, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, and shape 1 being 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. These two shapes are kind of like mirror images of each other. 4, 7, 4, 7, a step and a half, step and a half. 5, 7, 5, 7, whole step, whole step. 7, 9, 7, 9, whole step, whole step. 7, 10, 7, 10, step and a half, step and a half. So to find these two shapes, find the minor 7, and then remember the mirror shapes with the long ones, then the short ones, and then the other way, short ones and long ones. Those are two ways that I use to find these scales. Okay, so let's talk about improvising. G, E minor. You'll see in that tab I just have the 4th fret here, and that's it. What I've done is I've predetermined my resolution. So I've marked the last note of my phrase. So what I do is I improvise everything except for the very last note. And by setting up the last note when it goes from the backing track from G to E minor and setting up my point of resolution, then I'm improvising everything, but I know when I finish, my lick is going to sound good. If we look down the road, C to D, same thing. I have my landing spot all set up. I'm going to land on the 2nd fret here. So with the backing track going, I'm going to jam, land on that 4th fret. Let it roll, then the C starts, I'm going to start jamming again. Cool, I've got my landing spot predetermined. So let's go ahead and put the backing track on and let me show you what I mean. Okay, so that's the G, E minor, C, and D. Okay, so improvise and then land. Improvise and then lands. All right. Cool. Right in that 4. Land on that 2. Got him. There, I exaggerated. I hit it a couple of times, but it's the same idea. You're just improvising over the G, hitting that 4, improvising over the C, hitting that 2 on the D. I want you to go ahead and do it, okay? So I'm gonna help you with the chords. It's G, E minor, C, and D. Get ready, go. Land. Go. Land. Do it again. And go. Land. And go. And land. Alright. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Muy bien. Muy bien. Okay, so we've let that go through, right? We've done that. We've seen what it sounds like with the backing track. Let's go ahead and put up another set of resolutions. We put these ones up, and now we have the 3rd fret here, and then the same one for D. 3rd fret, because this is a chord tone of our E minor chord, and this note is both in the chord that we're landing on, the E minor, and the scale that we're using. That's how resolution works. You're looking to resolve your licks, meaning finish your licks, on notes that are both in the chord you're playing and in the scale that you're playing. So we go through this one and we're going to do the same thing. Improvise. Finish on 3. And it comes around again to D. Same thing. So let's put the backing track on and let's shred over this. Okay, so now we're back and we have some new resolutions. So let's get our chords. G, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, jam, 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 land. Solo, 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 land. So I'm going to let it go a little and I'm going to talk. As it's going around, now on the E minor, and the C and the D, this is a G note I'm resolving on, but this is a G too. So I can... Alright. D. Let's go to that high G. Okay. That's also a D note. So practice with these specific notes, but once you build confidence with them, know that you can hit that C or a D anywhere on the fretboard. Okay, your turn. So you're gonna solo there, dun, 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 dang. Get the 3rd. Improvise, improvise, improvise. Dun. Get ready. Solo, 2, 3, 4, land. Solo, 2, 3, 4, land. Good job. Begin. Solo, 2, 3, 4, land. Improvise and land. One more. Solo, 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 land. Improvise, 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 land. Stand, bam. Take the concept of resolution a little bit further. You're going to notice that this time over the E minor, we're going to finish on this D note. And over the D chord, we're going to finish on this B note. Well, you might be thinking, Tyler, an E minor chord is an E, G, and B. It doesn't have a D in it. And you would be correct. But the D note turns the E minor into an E minor 7. So you can also land on these chord extensions or resolve your licks on chord extensions to modify the harmony slightly. Even though the chord progression is just strumming an E minor, because you land on this D note, you turn that E minor into an E minor 7. These colorful resolutions, they're called semi-stable tones. A chord tone is a stable tone. These are semi-stable tones, these chord extensions. Add a lot of life and unique flavor to your solo, but you have to know your chords, extensions, and your semi-stable tones a little better. This takes a little more studying. If this feels over your head, that's okay. Stick to the chord tones at first and really get that concept down. Now, the D chord, a B note, well, what gives there? That makes this D what's called a D6. The B is the 6th interval, and when you add a B note to a D chord, you get a D6. So we're doing the same thing. This is the 6th tone is a semi-stable tone, and by resolving over the B note over our D, we turn our D into a D6, giving it a more unique flavor. Okay, so we're going to go through. Now, this is a D note here. This is also a D note. This is also a D note. So keep in mind, you can do this over any D note. It doesn't have to specifically be this D note. For this example, it will be, but you can shred up here, and up here as well. So we get, all right, and then it comes around, and then the C comes, and I shred, and I land on this B note. All right, let's put the backing track up, and I'll show you what that sounds like with the backing track. Okay, here we are again. Let's get the chord rhythm. G, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4. And here we're gonna hit the color tones, meaning I'm gonna land on a D over the E minor, and I'm gonna land on a B over the D, making an E minor 7 and making a D6. So check it out. Different D's. A different beat too. Same effects. E minor 7, D6. Okay? Get the chords again, and then you're gonna come around after we come around here, okay? Coming up to the D. 3, 2, 1, ready? Yeah. Land. Improvise. And land. Solo, 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 land. Solo. Land. Ready, solo. Resolve. Solo. Resolve. Solo and resolve. Solo and resolve. Solo and resolve. Solo and resolve. then I just improvised the solo there, taking into account everything we've been talking about, not always landing right on the 1, sometimes on the 2, 2.5, and I'm not always starting on the 1. I'll start on the 2, 3, before the 1, 2. That gives it more movement, and we're going to do a lesson on how to use phrasing to give it more movement. But I ultimately finished on that G over the G. So everything was having fun, and when I was ready to finish what I was doing, I would land here. Let's go ahead and do that. I'll show you. I messed up. And that's how you would finish it. All right? Take care, everybody. And there you have it, folks. That's some pretty gnarly stuff. I'm happy to bring it to you. It's heady, it's heavy, it's kind of crazy, but it's really, really cool, and I hope you dig it as much as I do. By determining where you're going to land, you make your soloing a little easier. And so in doing this, you're teaching yourself to improvise. Then you start to go ahead and stack some levels of resolutions, and then when you see this progression, G, E minor, C, D, you're more prepared to navigate it. So this is a great, great way for you to start to improvise and get more comfortable with the concept in general. Enjoy it. See you next Wednesday or Saturday, Monday for guitar. Take care.
So that was it. With those little tips, you can do this, and you can apply this in any key. When you see the chords, look up the scale. When you see the scale, look for the notes that overlap with the chords. Those are your chord tones. Those are your points of resolution. Kind of like when you're playing tag, that's the safe place. And if you land on the safe spot, it's going to sound good. All right, catch you next Wednesday, Saturday for ukulele, Monday for guitar. Wednesday, this is this kind of stuff, like more theory kind of stuff. And this series I'm developing is called From Scale to Solo. So I'll put the hashtag in there. You can click that hashtag and check out the other lessons that are like this one. All right, take care and have a lovely day.